Hey everybody, welcome back to the module on beliefs. Now, you might have heard me say many times in the past that if there's one skill in my life that's allowed me to make a fortune and help lots of people along the way, it's the power to influence and persuade. See, this is the single skill out of everything I have in my arsenal that allows me to make money and achieve what I want in my life and also give back in meaningful ways. Now, conversely, if there's one element that's caused me the most pain in my life and that it has caused me almost to sabotage my own success at times, it was my beliefs that I had. Essentially, beliefs about myself, about wealth and success, about money, the way that I managed fear in the process as well. And now you're dropped into a totally strange, alien environment where you don't know anybody, you don't have any opportunities that are actually obvious right now. I guarantee that somehow you'll still figure out a way to make money, because you have that core belief that no matter where I go, what I do, I will figure out a way. In fact, my best friend's father, my friend Alan Lipsky, when we were growing up, his dad used to say, if you flush Jordan down a toilet bowl, he'll end up coming back up with a plumber's license. And what that is, that's the power of what's called self-belief. In other words, you put me in a bad situation, I'll make lemonades out of lemons. And it starts from this idea that I have about myself that, within my arsenal of tools, I pretty much have everything that someone would need to achieve success in any situation. And of course, it starts with the ability to close anyone who's closable. Then let me just say this, I have a newsflash for you. Charisma and sales, they can both be learned. They are entirely learnable skills, and I teach both of them to people every day, all over the world. They become top producers brimming with charisma. However, if you're stuck with the belief that says, I don't have charisma or I'm incapable of being a salesman, well then guess what you'll do? You'll act in direct accordance with that belief, and you'll refuse to put yourself in a situation where you might have a chance to speak in public or sell anything or even take a course about sales. Here's what we're going to do now. For part 2, we're going to do what's called a timeline regression. Now, it's not hypnosis in any way, so don't worry. You're not going to be hypnotized. You're going to be in a heightened state of awareness, and you'll be in complete control of all your thoughts. The only thing you're giving power to here is your own subconscious mind, which is infinitely more powerful than your conscious mind, and it will always protect you. I'll guide you through this process, but remember that it's you who are in control every single moment. Listen, your standards are crucial. They represent your musts in life, the bottom line. So one of the things we're going to do here is actually identify what your standards currently are, and then we'll look at whether or not they suit your vision. In other words, does your standards match your vision? And if they don't, we're going to raise them, and I'll show you exactly how to do that. And there are only 2 paths in life for a person to take. There's the path of reasons, and I call these reason people. These are people who have all the reasons about why they can't get what they want in life, why they can't hit their sales quota, why the leads suck, why everything is wrong. It's reason people. That's one path, the path of reasons. And the second path, which is the path of results. And these are people who find a way no matter what. You have reason people who are literally disempowered, right? And results people who live these empowered, fruitful lives at the highest level. They burn bright. These are the leaders, the movers and shakers of society. I have this story. I call them ducks and eagles. And I look at these ducks as sort of these low-level reason people that kind of spend their whole life, quack, quack, quacking around, and it's like smelly duck pond filled with duck, excuse my expression here, but these ducks live life at the lowest level. And then you have eagles, who are the people that actually find a way. They soar. You have ducks and you have eagles. Now, the hardest thing in the world to do is to turn a duck into an eagle. That's a very, very difficult thing to do. And again, I've done it in the past. It's very hard. It takes like massive work with beliefs and values and all that sort of stuff. But here's the beauty. If you're taking this course right now, as you are, you can't possibly be a duck, because ducks never sign up for courses like this. They will be, oh my God, no, improvement, no. Why? Because it goes against their reason. See, they have a reason why they're not succeeding. It has nothing to do with them not knowing something. It's everyone else's fault. They're blaming, they're justifying, they're complaining. You get it? Reasons versus results, ducks versus eagles. And again, I want you to nail this ducks-eagles concept into your psychology here, because if you ever see yourself in the moment taking on a duck-like mentalities, which starts with this impossibility notion of what can't be done, You've got to change it immediately. You've got to snap out of it. I mean, there are ducks everywhere, and I despise them. You can sniff them out a mile away because they spend 90% of their day wallowing around in this giant duck pond filled with all the other smelly ducks quacking away with that reason after reason after reason of why they can't get what they want in life, why they can't get things done. That's what they spend their lives doing, and you can't influence when you're a duck. Eagles are the ones who influence. Eagles find a way. State management, what it basically is, it's your ability to manage your physiological, emotional state in the moment, no matter what's going on around you, so you can then access all the wonderful skills you have, all the training you have, to basically, essentially get the job done at the highest possible level.
You have, number one, at the top of the whole thing, you have the ability, as a salesperson, is to manage your state, to get into a pumped, peak, positive state of mind. You must train yourself to do this. At Stratton, I was very, very intent on these guys. I had to stand up, be pacing around, and I would give meetings every single day with motivation to make sure everyone felt good every single day, and they felt positive. They saw the future. They knew where they were going, and I kept them in I liken NLP to almost like an incredibly sharp sword. Like there was this movie I loved called Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and they had this magical sword, right? And the sword was, invented thousands of years ago, a lost art. No one could have the sword anymore. But if the wrong person wielded the sword, it wasn't all that powerful. But in the hands of a highly trained expert, the sword becomes an almost magical weapon. Well, the same is true of NLP. NLP can be incredibly effective when used by the right person, and also if someone shows you how to integrate certain aspects of NLP into your own life. But that's a very, very rare thing. I had the benefit myself of actually training directly with the person who founded the body of psychology of NLP, a man named Dr. Richard Bandler. And I spent a lot of time with Dr. Bandler, thankfully, and he blew me away. And what I came away with is this. In many ways, NLP is almost about stating the obvious about the world around us, the way it operates, how we make sense of the world. But there are two distinct aspects of NLP that I found to be unbelievably effective at helping me make changes in other people, specifically salespeople.
To develop something so detailed obviously entails quite a bit of brain power, a bit of creative thinking, and you have that ability. What advice would you give to someone who's struggling trying to create that vision, just doesn't know where to start, doesn't know where to see themselves?
I don't think it takes much brain power past maybe a 7th or 8th grade education. I don't think it's brain power. It's not that. It's commitment to actually sitting down and doing it. If you can write English or whatever language you speak, okay, and you are smart enough to have gotten a job and listen, I'm doing this interview for this training program. If you're sitting watching this right now, you're smart enough to do a vision statement. So that's not what's holding you back. If you're being held back right now from writing your vision statement, you're simply just not trying. You have the skill sets to do it. So what I would do in that case, let's say you're blocked. You know what the enemy of great is in life? The enemy of great is good. Typically, the problem with most people and their goals is not that they set goals that are too high and miss them. The problem usually is they set their goals too low and they hit them. And because of that, oh, I'm feeling okay, I hit my goal, and they end up at this place of mediocrity. And when you're in that place where you're not really feeling pain, or when there's no pain, there's no impetus to change. So what happens with people who are creating a vision, the same thing. If they create a vision that really isn't all that inspiring, because as they're creating the vision, they say, well, I could never really own the big house. I don't really have what it takes to become a CEO or a sales manager or a top producer. They start doing their vision, such as writing out their vision, saddled by all the limiting beliefs from the past, not really realizing that they have just been handed, essentially in this case, they've been handed a gift. They've been handed a technique that can take them from being an average closer to being a world-class closer. You might create this great vision about your life, this, a life of success and abundance where you're in a big house, with a healthy family, living the life you want, traveling, having free time to do what you want to do whenever you want to do it, as much as you want to do it, perhaps with whoever you want to do it with, right? That's your vision. That's my vision, by the way. Yet, if you don't actually have the skill sets to achieve in the real world, then I don't care how vivid that vision is, how real you make it in your own mind. I don't care how good you are at talking to other people about that vision. If you don't have the skills, it's never going to become a reality. And that is what the straight line's all about. It's a skill set. It's going to allow you to go out there and achieve as a salesperson, as an influencer, as a closer. It's going to allow you to become one of the top closers in the world, and that will allow you to essentially realize your vision and have the life that you've always dreamed of. And that, to me, is true success. So, again, I want you to go through some of the exercises here in the workbook and also the critical incident scenarios, okay, and work on this stuff and create your vision now. Get it going and always be adding to that vision. And when you read that vision back to yourself, if it doesn't inspire you, if your hair is almost on standing up on end, if you're not sensing your heart beating and you almost want to jump out of bed each morning, then that's not your true vision that inspires you. Your vision should make you want to jump up out of bed each day, run to work, run to the gym, whatever. It's not just about money. It's about the way you live your life. It's about health. It's about wealth. It's about success. It's about giving back. It's about having high personal standards. It's really about you being the best you can possibly be and spreading that wealth around, meaning the wealth of abundance and good tidings and generosity and charity. It's not just about money. That's what my vision for the future is about. It's about impacting other people in a positive way. And to get that, I have to have certain skills at a very high level. One of them is influence. And in the world that we live in, influence is that core skill that allows you to achieve. So as you go through this training, remember that vision comes first, inner world first, right? Get things straight, your belief systems, and we'll go through all the stuff in the various modules. You get that vision, that just can move you to take action. And of course, the straight line system, which is your tool, almost that sharp sword that's going to allow you to cut through all the bull crap of life and get exactly what you want. Okay? See you in the next module.